Welcome back, turkeys, for chapter 3 of Freckle Juice. But first, of course, I have a few jokes for you. This one has to do with bees. I was outside and I saw some bees pollinating all the lavender bushes that we have. So, this one, first off, is why do bees have sticky hair? Because they use a honeycomb. Second joke, what kind of haircuts do bees get? Buzz cuts. Okay. And the last joke is, what did the bee say to the flower? Hi, honey. Okay, I thought you'd enjoy those. Chapter 3, more of the saga continues with Andrew. Andrew ran all the way home. He had remembered he had to go to Mrs. Burrow's house to get the key from his mom. The secret recipe for Freckle juice was folded carefully in the bottom of Andrew's shoe. He was going to put it in his sock, but he was afraid his foot might get sweaty and then the ink might blur and he wouldn't be able to read it. So, inside his shoe was just safe enough. Even if it was windy, nothing could happen to it there. He made up his mind not to read it until he got home. He didn't want to waste any time getting there. And he wasn't the world's fastest reader anyway, even though he'd gotten better since last fall. Still, there might be some hard words that would take a while to figure out. So I'll show you the picture of him running home. There he is running home. I remember he's going to go see his mom at her friend's house. They were playing cards and he had to get the key from her. Andrew pressed Mrs. Burrow's doorbell. "Hello, Andrew," she said as she opened the door. "You're home from school early." "I ran all the way," Andrew panted. "Well, how about some milk and cookies?" Mrs. Burrows asked. "No, thank you. I just want the key." Who would pass up milk and cookies? "Well, come on in, Andrew. Your mother's in the living room." Andrew followed Mrs. Burrows. Her mother was dealing 4 piles of cards. "Hi, Mom. I came for the key." "Manners, Andrew, manners. Don't you say hello to all the ladies?" Mrs. Marcus asked. "Oh, yes, hello," Andrew said. Mrs. Marcus reached for her purse. She opened it and she gave Andrew the key. "Change your clothes and play outside. I'll be home at 4 o'clock. That only gave him 1 hour. He hoped the recipe didn't say to cook anything. He wasn't allowed to turn on the stove or the oven. Andrew dashed to his house, unlocked the front door, took off his shoes as soon as he was inside. He pulled out the secret recipe, sat down on the floor to read it. Here's what it said. Sharon's secret recipe for freckle juice. 1 glass makes an average amount of freckles. To get like Nikki Lane, you need to mix 2 glasses. Mix up all these things together, stir well, and drink fast. Grape juice, vinegar, mustard, mayonnaise, juice from 1 lemon, pepper, salt, ketchup, olive oil, and a speck of an onion. P.S. The faster you drink it, the faster you get Freckles. Freckles. There's her note to him. Now, question, do you think it's pretty authentic? Is it a true recipe? Let's find out. Andrew read the list twice. It didn't sound like much of a secret recipe. His mother used those things every day. Of course, she didn't use them all together. But maybe that was the secret part. Well, he paid 50 cents. He might as well find out. So he climbed up on the kitchen counter so he could reach the cabinets. He found everything except the lemon. That was in the refrigerator. Oh, and the onion. Mrs. Marcus kept onions in the basement in a bin. Andrew ran downstairs. He selected a small one since the recipe only called for a speck. With or without the skin? Andrew wondered. So he chose a big blue glass. He started with just one glassful, and then he would drink another if he wanted more freckles. No point in overdoing it the first time. That's what his mother always said. Now, first the grape juice, Andrew thought. He filled the glass halfway. He added an ice cube. All drinks taste better cold, and he was sure this one would too. Then he added other ingredients one by one. His mother had 2 kinds of vinegar, wine vinegar and plain vinegar. Andrew picked the wine one. He put in some hot mustard and a spoonful of mayonnaise and plenty of pepper and salt. Then some ketchup, but that was kind of hard to pour. What about olive oil? So here he is. He's mixing up the concoction. Does it sound pretty tasty to you? His mother had vegetable oil, but no olive oil. Maybe that stuff just looked like water and the olive jar was what Sharon meant. So he put in a few spoonfuls of that. Now for the lemon. Andrew cut one in half and squeezed. Oh no! A seed dropped in by mistake. He picked it out with the spoon. He hated pits in his juice. Now all he needed was the speck of the onion, and he would be set. He stirred up the drink and smelled it. Oh! It smelled awful. Just plain awful. He'd have to hold his nose while he drank it. He stuck his tongue into the glass to taste it. Ugh! Ugh! Terrible! He didn't know how he was going to manage to get it down, and fast too. They said to drink it very fast. That old Sharon. She probably thought he wouldn't be able to drink it. Well, he was going to show her. He'd drink it all right. So Andrew held his nose. He tilted his head back and gulped it down. He gulped down Sharon's secret recipe for freckle juice. He felt like throwing up. It was that bad. But if he did, he'd never get freckles. No, he'd be strong. Andrew crept into his mother's bedroom. Oh, he didn't feel well enough to walk. He sat on the floor in front of the full-length mirror. He waited for something to happen. So here he is. He's drinking it. I don't know, that combination didn't sound too appetizing to me. And that's the end of chapter 3. So we'll see what happens in chapter 4. I have a feeling his tummy's not going to do so well. See you then.